Recently, Fortnite Chapter 3 has been getting some criticism online. People quit playing, people say the game's in a bad state, the game's dead, but this is nothing new. We heard the same exact thing with both Chapters 1 and 2. People hated on the game or on the chapter specifically, and once the chapter ended and we got a new map, people could wish they could go back to the old one and saying the old game was perfect. But is this just the same case of nostalgia and people crying on Twitter, or has Chapter 3 actually been kinda bad and deserving of this criticism? Chapter 3 dropped with a brand new map, a loot pool made up of entirely brand new weapons, new healing items, the new sliding mechanic, and just to top it all off, the Spider-Man web shooters released just a few days later and Christmas was right around the corner, meaning Winterfest would start very soon. It was a good time to be playing Fortnite. Even after Winterfest, Epic wasted absolutely no time with the updates this season. On vaulting clingers and flare guns, the new shield keg, tilted towers, Klombo, the new grenade launcher, pizza, covert cavern, new heavy shotgun, new machine pistol, and some wild weeks to end off the season. As someone who's been playing this game since the original Season 2, this easily has to be in my top 5 favorite seasons ever. But we do have to look back at this critically. The season did have some flaws, as every season obviously does, but in my opinion, the positives outweighed the negatives so much that I just didn't care at all. The MK7 and Stinger SMG were insanely strong and broken. The shotguns were extremely clunky to use and took way too long to pull out to the point where they were just unusable. And the Spider-Man web shooters, although extremely fun, I think we can all admit they were definitely OP. But you know what? Fortnite fixed it. They heard our feedback and made some changes. They changed the accuracy and stats of the MK7 and Stingers, and both would continue getting nerfs in later seasons. The shotgun pullout times and other stats were changed, and the web shooters got a well-needed nerf in competitive, allowing us to play with really fun OP items in pubs, but have arena for a more competitive experience. Chapter 3 Season 1 ended up being an extremely solid season, and don't forget, people were hyping this season up for an entire month before it even dropped, and I can safely say it lived up to the hype. Season 2 had some big introductions that I don't think get enough credit. Zero build, mantling, and sprinting will change Fortnite forever. I even look back at old gameplay and it feels so slow without the sprint. These new movement options also made sliding work so much better. Although it was a cool mechanic, it did feel a little lackluster in Season 1, but combine sliding and sprinting and it just works. But at the same time, all of these things I just mentioned are going to be in Fortnite permanently and aren't specifically tied to Season 2. Let's look back at the map changes. Covert Cavern turned into Command Cavern, New Fortress and Synapse Station, and a bunch of blimps. Command Cavern I think was a great upgrade and the blimp worked best over there. Fortress and Synapse Station were pretty forgettable, and I don't think a lot of people were a fan of the blimps. Even when the blimps crashed, Epic had the opportunity for some insane map changes, but they were just unnoticeable. Compare that to Chapter 2 Season 2's map changes, 5 brand new locations that fit very well in the Chapter 2 map, and I think we can all agree that Chapter 3 Season 2's map changes were kind of a letdown. The loot pool wasn't all that great either. After dealing with the Stinger SMG in Season 1, we got possibly the most OP SMG Fortnite has ever seen in the Combat SMG, the return of the drum gun with tweaked stats and new rarities, and a red dot burst rifle that absolutely dominated the long to medium range meta. Tanks with 2,000 health, and the updates throughout Season 2 were kind of all over the place. Some were great, like the addition of the Ranger shotgun, but some were just weird, like unvaulting the airstrike and nerfing the heavy sniper. Season 2 wasn't really the best follow-up to Chapter 3 Season 1, but it did stand on its own legs, and I think moment-to-moment gameplay that season, it was pretty okay. This is where I think everything started going downhill. We did get a brand new biome that had a really nice aesthetic, and I really liked the Reality Falls POI, but did they really need to remove Camp Cuddle? I know that's a location not many people cared for, but it just seems like a weird removal. And instead of making another brand new POI for the bottom of the biome, they just destroyed Greasy Grove. Command Cavern turned into Rave Cave, and unless you want your ears to be assaulted with music, I recommend staying far away from there. Every single new weapon was just straight up bad. The Hammer AR, 2-shot shotgun, and DMR. This season's launch just felt like a worse version of Chapter 3 Season 2, which already wasn't that great. But we did end up getting a lot of updates throughout the season. Logjam Lumberyard was affected by the reality tree and would change into one of 4 different locations every game. A really cool map change until they did the exact same thing on 3 other POIs. And unfortunately, they even added Coral Castle buildings into the mix. Tilted got some new buildings in the middle of the season that just completely ruined the location for me. The Grapple Glove was a welcome addition. The Charge SMG SMG might be one of the worst weapons in Fortnite history, and the summer update fell kinda flat. At this point, I took a long break from the game and I was especially getting sick of all the Chapter 3 weapons. It was a novelty in Season 1, starting to get a little old in Season 2, but in Season 3, not having some of the classic weapons just sucked, and I think a lot of people started to feel this way. We take away or nerf a lot of the OP weapons from Chapter 3, and now we're just stuck with the bad ones. But in Chapter 1 and 2, when we had the classic, Scar, Pump, Tac, all that stuff, they just worked. They were fine and we could be playing with them, but Epic is just forcing this new loot pool on us. And that brings us to the current season, Chapter 3, Season 4, all about Chrome. Chrome locations, Chrome weapons, Chrome mechanics. Holy shit, Epic. You think you gave us enough Chrome? I mean, look at the map now. One of the biggest complaints in Chapter 2 was how little the map changed. And this chapter, the map is changing rapidly, but maybe it would just be a little better if it wasn't just chrome hexagons everywhere. I mean, some of these locations just aren't even fun to land at anymore with how annoying the chrome makes it to navigate. A lot of the changed POIs just feel like a downgrade to their original counterpart. They did buff snipers this season. That was actually a great change, but that was Epic fixing a problem that they created. The explosive goo gun is actually pretty fun. We got a new DMR, which is still not good. And the one brand new item this Fortnitemares, the Howler Claws, has been disabled for days. For me, Chapter 3 Season 1 was amazing, but the chapter in general has only been going downhill since then. But that's not to say the game is going to be on a downhill trajectory forever. There's a lot of speculation about next season being Chapter 4. I posted a video breaking down these rumors, and I think there's a decent chance we get a new chapter next season, but even if we don't, I'm always excited for new seasons of Fortnite regardless. How do you guys feel about Chapter 3? How excited are you for next season, and do you think we're going into Chapter 4 this December? Let me know in the comments. If you guys like this video, leave a like, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.